Marjorie Taylor Greene, a newly elected Congresswoman from Northwest Georgia, is on a rampage. Joe Biden has been in office one day, and I think she's had enough. She's ready to impeach him. Welcome, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Thanks for coming on the show. I really appreciate you doing it. Had enough of Joe Biden already?
I had enough of Joe Biden before he got here, and I'm definitely day one, especially all the things he signed in executive order yesterday. I think all of America's had enough.
So are you actually introducing legislation, or are you actually introducing articles of impeachment, or are you just talking about it?
No, I'm actually introducing articles of impeachment on Joe Biden. Joe Biden, when he was vice president for the United States, he perfectly demonstrated that he was willing to abuse the power of the vice presidency. And he did so on camera, on tape, admitting it himself when he said he would withhold $1 billion just to make sure a certain prosecutor got fired from his job, all because it was affecting his son, Hunter Biden's deals with a certain energy company in Ukraine. This is an abuse of power, and there's a clear pattern. There's an investigation ongoing right now into Hunter Biden's laptop, and that investigation really needs to happen, and the American people deserve to know. And it's already been demonstrated that we can't trust Joe Biden because he will do anything and everything, abusing the power of the presidency, abusing the American people, all to help his family in their corrupt deals, business deals with foreign countries' energy companies.
And now, you recently tweeted out the tape, and some people have seen it, but I think it's worth taking another quick look at as a reminder, if only. So let's run the tape.
And I said, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid at the time.
Now, I don't think that there is much doubt that this guy has had a long career of corruption. But is it your position that he should be impeached for what he did before? Or are you saying that because he did what he did before, he's compromised in executing the duties of his office now?
Both. He abused the power of the vice presidency before, and he is compromised going forward now. And he continues to deny everything, even when evidence has been shown through Hunter Biden. There was the famous interview with Tucker Carlson with Tony Bobulinski, where Bobulinski, who was Hunter Biden's business partner at the time, and explained exactly what happened and how James Biden, Hunter Biden, and Joe Biden are all involved in this corrupt business deals with the Chinese energy company. And so this is a danger to America. Nancy Pelosi lowered the bar of impeachment to the basement, and she's done it twice now. And here in the House of Representatives, impeached President Trump twice for nothing. Now we have a real situation where we have a man that is now president of the United States, clearly is not there mentally. And that's another issue that's not involved in these articles of impeachment, but it is an issue. But he's compromised with his relationship with his son and his son's continued abuse of power and corruption and willingness to dangle his father and all of his connections and his power out to his business partners. And this endangers all of America.
Now, is it part of your motivation, and I don't think this would necessarily be a wrong motivation, but is it part of your motivation that you're just downright mad at what they tried to do to Trump, and your idea is, hey, you know what, two can play at this game. You guys want to try doing it to Trump? We're going to do it to you. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that motivation, but is that part of your motivation?
Actually, I think that's a completely separate issue. The whole reason why I ran for Congress is because I've been a business owner for over 2 decades. And in the private sector, in the real world where most Americans live, we have to do everything right. We follow the rules, we dot every I, we cross every T, we pay our taxes, we obey every single thing. But there is so much corruption and abuse in government that it's just sickening. Look at our national debt. That right there is one perfect example of just how they abuse Americans and our hard-earned tax dollars. But more than that, this place doesn't function well. And I can tell you that as now a new member of Congress, I'm appalled at the way Congress functions. And so, no, that is truly a separate issue. That's why I objected on January 6th. We objected to these electoral college votes for Joe Biden that we believe were fraudulent in 6 states. But that is a completely separate issue. My issue is with corruption and power. And Joe Biden is clearly corrupt. He's admitted it himself right there on the video clip that you played. And then the Hunter Biden laptop investigation, it really needs to go forward. And we can't have a president that's compromised like this.
Now, if I can ask you directly, is this something that you're willing to sort of take to the mat? And what I mean by that is, I think there's a Democratic majority in the House. They will do everything they can to block you. They have a narrow, but nevertheless with Kamala Harris in the Senate. So it seems to me that the best option here, if you can't win over 5 or 6 Democratic congressmen and hold all the Republicans, is to sort of take the case public. In other words, it's almost like to conduct an impeachment trial in the public square. And I want to ask if you'd be open to considering that. In fact, I'd love to have it right here on the show. In other words, I'd say bring in the Ukrainian prosecutor, bring in the evidence. One of the advantages of being a congressman is you have a congresswoman is you have a public stage. Are you willing to use that stage, not just to talk about this as a positioning maneuver, but to bring out the evidence, let the American people see it, prevent the press from being able to hide it the way they did during the campaign, so that people can really realize, maybe to their dismay, we've put a burglar in charge of Fort Knox?
Oh, Dinesh, absolutely, 1000%. I have a saying, I say it all the time, and I said it during my campaign, and it's something I hold very dear to my heart, is it's people over politicians. And so that's why I've been posting everywhere, text impeach to 55444, because I want citizen co-sponsors. To me, it's not about everybody here in Congress and what they want to do and how they want to vote. It's really about the people. And so I'm 100% for a public trial, so to speak, for President Joe Biden, and where we can bring out the evidence and let the people be involved. And that's exactly how it should be. This is how this country was founded, but it is grown into a disgusting swamp where nothing gets done and no one ever faces justice. They just continue to evade the truth, and you see it every single day. So I love that idea. I think it's great.
I think we need on our side not only ideas, but the boldness to carry them out. I think you're on a big one here, and I urge you to run with it. Marjorie Taylor Greene, thank you for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate having you. Thank you.
Thank you.